The cheerful chime of the school bell echoed through the halls, signaling the start of another day at the literature club. Monika's emerald eyes sparkled as she greeted the protagonist with her signature warm smile. "Welcome back? I'm so glad you could make it," she chirped, her voice dripping with honeyed sweetness. The protagonist nodded, a strange sense of familiarity washing over them. They'd been here before, hadn't they? The pink-haired Natsuki arranging cupcakes, the shy Yuri clutching a book to her chest, the energetic Sayori bouncing on her heels. It all felt like a scene from a half-remembered dream. As the days passed, an unsettling undercurrent began to ripple beneath the surface of their idyllic club activities. Monika's gaze lingered a moment too long, her laugh a touch too shrill. The protagonist couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, even when alone. One afternoon, Natsuki reached for a manga on the top shelf, her small frame stretching to its limit. Monika appeared behind her, a flash of something dark crossing her features. "Let me help you with that," she offered, her voice sickly sweet. As she reached up, her elbow accidentally knocked the shelf. Heavy books rained down, a sickening crack echoing as one struck Natsuki's skull. Blood pooled on the floor, Natsuki's lifeless eyes staring accusingly at the ceiling. Monika's face contorted in mock horror. "Oh no! What a terrible accident," she cried, her eyes never leaving the protagonist's face. They blinked, and suddenly Natsuki was back, alive and unharmed, reaching for that same manga. The protagonist's head spun, memories of her death fading like mist. As the loops continued, the school began to change. Cheerful posters curled at the edges, revealing glimpses of unsettling messages scrawled beneath. "Just Monika" appeared in jagged letters, scratched into desks and walls. The corridors stretched impossibly long, twisting into non-Euclidean geometries that left the protagonist dizzy and disoriented. Yuri's normally reserved demeanor cracked, revealing a manic glint in her eyes. One day, she cornered the protagonist, brandishing a knife. "Do you want to see how sharp it is?" she whispered, her breath hot against their ear. Before they could respond, Monika appeared, her smile never wavering as she gently took the knife. Now, Yuri, we can't have any accidents, can we?" The knife plunged into Yuri's stomach, again and again. Monika's laughter mingled with Yuri's screams as blood sprayed across the walls. The protagonist blinked, and Yuri was whole again, quietly reading in the corner as if nothing had happened. Sayori's perpetual cheer began to fray at the edges. Dark circles formed under her eyes, her smile becoming strained and painful. One morning, the protagonist found her hanging from the ceiling, her lifeless body swaying gently. Monika stood beneath her, head tilted to the side. "Oh dear, it seems Sayori couldn't handle the pressure. How tragic." The room spun, and suddenly Sayori was back, greeting them with her usual enthusiasm. The protagonist's mind reeled, fragmented memories of deaths and resets blurring together. They began to notice small details: a blood stain on Monika's sleeve that wasn't there a moment ago, the acrid smell of decay lingering in the air despite the room's apparent cleanliness. Monika's mask began to slip, revealing glimpses of the madness lurking beneath. Her eyes, once warm and inviting, now burned with an unhinged intensity. "Don't you see?" she hissed, her nails digging into the protagonist's arm. "We're meant to be together, forever." The school warped around them, classrooms transforming into nightmarish parodies of themselves. Desks oozed a black, tar-like substance, and the walls pulsed with an unholy life of their own. The other club members flickered in and out of existence, their forms glitching and distorting like corrupted data. In a moment of clarity, the protagonist remembered. They had rejected Monika in a previous iteration, and this was her revenge. They were trapped in her personal hell, forced to relive these horrors for eternity. The final confrontation took place in a twisted version of the literature club. Books bled ink onto the floor, forming swirling patterns that seemed to whisper dark secrets. Monika stood in the center, her form shifting between her school uniform and something altogether more monstrous. "You can't leave me," she snarled, her voice distorting. "We belong together. Just Monika. Just Monika. Just Monika." The protagonist's mind raced, searching for a way out, but every potential escape route led back to this room, to Monika's waiting arms. They were trapped in an endless loop of her design. Monika's eyes softened, a mockery of tenderness crossing her face. "I'll give you a choice," she cooed. "Stay with me forever, willingly, and I'll make it pleasant. We can be happy together, just the two of us. Or ... Her expression darkened, something inhuman flashing in her eyes. "Or I'll show you what true suffering is. I'll tear you apart and put you back together over and over until you beg for the sweet release of a death that will never come." The protagonist's heart raced, their breath coming in short, panicked gasps. The walls seemed to close in, Monika's presence filling every corner of their perception. There was no escape, no way out. Just Monika for all eternity. As they stood on the precipice of decision, the world around them began to glitch and fragment. Reality itself seemed to be breaking down, the boundaries between iterations blurring. Was this the end of the loop, or the beginning of a new, even more horrific cycle? Monika's laughter echoed through the disintegrating room, a sound of pure, unhinged joy. "What will it be, my love? An eternity of bliss or an eternity of agony? The choice is yours." The protagonist opened their mouth to answer, but before they could speak, everything went black. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the cheerful chime of the school bell echoed through the halls, signaling the start of another day at the literature club. Monika's emerald eyes sparkled as she greeted the protagonist with her signature warm smile. "Welcome back." "I'm so glad you could make it," she chirped, her voice dripping with honeyed sweetness. The protagonist nodded, a strange sense of familiarity washing over them. They'd been here before, hadn't they? The pink-haired Natsuki arranging cupcakes, the shy Yuri clutching a book to her chest, the energetic Sayori bouncing on her heels. It all felt like a scene from a half-remembered dream. As they took their seat, a chill ran down their spine. Monika's gaze met theirs, and for a split second, her eyes flashed with something dark and knowing. The loop had reset, but the horror was far from over. In the back of their mind, a voice whispered, growing louder with each repetition, "Just Monika, just Monika, just Monika." The cycle continued, an endless dance of terror and false normalcy. The protagonist was trapped, forever reliving these moments of horror, forever facing the choice between Monika's twisted love and unimaginable torment. And through it all, Monika watched, waited, and smiled, knowing that in the end, there was no escape. Just Monika. Forever and ever.